If in the very beginning, when there was no life, if there was no karma, how did the species happen? Today modern science is clearly recognizing there is no name for that, they're calling it dark energy. Shakti came and danced upon his chest. Something is beginning to happen. And then first form of creation came. So where was the karma for all this? See, you must understand, all the karma is not yours. But it's also the atmosphere which is doing the karma for you. And slowly it has become the life that we have become, and many millions of forms of life behind us. So do not misunderstand your individual karma as the birth of the universe, no. Well, about how did the first, I think the question is about if in the very beginning, when there was no life, if there was no karma, how did the species happen? Is that the question? Do I understand it right?
Yes, it's correct.
So we need to… now you're asking a scientific question, but the yogic sciences looks at it like this. Well, you must understand, what is modern science today? The same things have been spoken in the yogic sciences, but in a very dialectical way, personifying all the different forces. Today in modern science, they're talking about, if you have a vacuum condition, let's say in a flask or in some container, not inside, around this container, if you play a certain amount of energy or electrical charges, within the vacuum state, something called as virtual protons and virtual neutrons will happen. This essentially means out of nothingness, something is taking shape, something is beginning to happen. Well, it may not be able to hold itself, but it happens and disappears. So, this is exactly what the yogic story is that all of you might have heard, especially in Visakhapatnam, that area, there is a lot of these stories, because some of the Saptarishis camped near Visakhapatnam. If you have forgotten that, you must just look around. There are caves on the Visakhapatnam coast where Saptarishis came and stayed, and Gautama, not the Gautama the Buddha, the Gautama who was one of the Saptarishis comes, it is believed that he comes from that Andhra region. Anyway, so we talk about nothingness. Nothing means that which is not. That which is not means that which is not physical in nature. Today modern science is clearly recognizing a dimension beyond physical does exist. They call it the non-existence or negative reality. There are many ways they're trying to express it, but because it's not logical, they're struggling with these expressions. There is something called as dark energy. This means there is no any of the physical things that you recognize. Physical means there must be protons and neutrons or electrons, or there must be electromagnetic charges or magnetic field or something. None of these forces that you recognize as physical exists, but still there is a force beyond that. There is no name for that, they're calling it dark energy. In India, we call it shiva. That means that which is not. Shiva does not mean a person, Shiva means that which is not. Now when somebody realized that which is not, we also ended up calling that person Shiva later on. That personality which came later on as a yogi is a different matter. But this non-existence or that which is not was lying inert, just empty space. Then certain Shakti, or you can call it an electrical charge or some kind of energetic charge, Shakti came and danced upon his chest. Then little stirring happened within him. Because of Shakti dancing around him, he stirred up, and then first form of creation came. Modern science is talking about Big Bang. I've been in conversation with various physicists, telling them about how yoga sees the first form of creation was Rudra. That means he rode. What is a road? Suppose you take any automobile, whatever you have, whether it's a moped or a scooter or a car, you pull out the manifold, start the engine, it'll go bang, bang, bang. If you raise the throttle, it'll roar. So what you call as a roar is a series of bangs. I've been in conversation with various physicists, They all agree it couldn't have been one bang. There must have been a series of bangs for so much to happen. So a series of bangs is a roar. So the first form of creation, first manifestation of Shiva, that became a roar. Because of the roar, a certain form arose. From that form, particles, from that form, atoms, from that form, molecules, from that form, cells and single cell and multiple cell, and life happened. So where was the karma for all this? See, you must understand, all the karma is not yours. Right now, you're breathing. On one level, yes, it's your karma, but it's also the atmosphere which is doing the karma for you. If there was no atmosphere, you wouldn't be breathing. If there was no planet, you wouldn't be sitting here. If there was no solar system, you wouldn't exist. If there was no universe, your karma wouldn't exist. So there is an existential karma. In that, the greatest fortune that we human beings have is, though we are a speck of dust in this cosmos, not even a speck of dust, that's how small, infinitely, we are that little, that small. But we are given an individual experience. That is only because of karmic accumulation of individual nature. So do not misunderstand your individual karma as the birth of the universe. No. Birth of the universe is existential karma. Activity happened on various levels. On inanimate levels, action happened, and slowly it became animate, and slowly it has become the life that we have become, and many millions of forms of life behind us. Fortunately, according to Darwin's theory of evolution, you are the peak of evolution on this planet. So Chetan disagrees, he knows people who are not.
No, some people.
But we are the peak of evolution.
Internet trolls is a separate session. I mean, I'll ask you someday when I come for the dosa that this is not kind. I mean, there's just lack of kind. Anyway,
you can't eat my dosa and then troll about that.
No. I am
because
and becoming
now
slave.
People are going to troll me. How can he claim he makes the best dosa? I did not claim, a whole lot of people who ate it said that. So I'm just repeating their words, because dosa is not an existentially perfect thing, it is only by people's taste and their opinions that it becomes the best thing. All right, anyway…
You don't have to clarify it, Sadhguruji. It's okay. We understand. You make a good dosa, that's it.
We got placed on top of the evolutionary pile, all right? Among all these millions of lives, we are on the very top of the evolutionary pile. But most human beings are not feeling like they're on top of the world. They're actually on top of the world, but they're not feeling it that way because they're misunderstanding their psychological realities as existential realities. This is the fundamental that the spiritual process wants to change, that you become an existential creature. Once you're existential as a life, this is an exuberance of life. We are the peak of life on this planet. This is the best thing that can happen to you. But right now, you're misunderstanding your own thought and emotion as reality.